Hi. It's Friday. I have not gotten a lot done this week. Ow. I dropped that. I turn this fan down ever so slightly here. Oh. So it's Friday. I did not get... Damn, that still hurts. I did not get the comparison of all the core Gundams done yet. I'm probably going to sit down and film that after I get done with this, excuse me, this brief video here. I've got a couple things to show off right quick. I'm going to pause so I can put this on the tripod. Fucking. So I got the Ratchet review done Wednesday afternoon, Wednesday evening actually. And got a, by the way, update from the spraying the floor. Killed a roach yesterday. Just by poison alone. But I have a box. It's not worthy of doing in the kitchen video because there's only one thing in this box. This is a huge box considering the one thing that's in it. Who is messaging me right now? I have one problem. Well, I always have a problem. My computer never goes to sleep. It's really annoying. Oh, it's Nate. That means that he has things for me. I've been waiting for a couple orders to come in with the Nate Simmons. What does he got? What does he got? What do you got for me, Nate? Natey boy. Ah, I got US. I got things. I got US and PS. So, this huge box for one little action figure. It's clearly been rattling around a little bit. No damage, though. And I did pre-order this girl the second I saw her coming out. And it is the Lightning Collection Ranger Slayer. So this is evil alt-world Kimberly, who doesn't necessarily stay evil or alt-world. Either way. But for sure was not going to let this one pass. And I find it funny, so people started making their own customs and then they announced this. So that'll go with my Lord Draken. I'll probably knock out that as a quick review and I'll just say out the box, even though we'll do an out the box review, so to speak. The paint job is crap. Like, wow. At least on the legs, maybe the arms. Yeah, the arms don't look that great either. I think it is a symptom, and I usually don't fall for this, because I almost never buy these the first time they come out. I usually wait until the first few are through the system, so to speak, because I feel like they rush the first few waves. And yeah, I'm continuing, like, my Lord Draken had a couple paint mistakes. Not the worst one I've ever seen. I saw a really bad one in hand. But yeah, this one definitely has some paint mishaps and stuff like that. It's an interesting new mold, though. Kind of digs it. So I'm going to do a quickie review of her. But I forgot to mention the other day, so I said I was clearing out the closet for a reason. And I needed to get these things out, because I know I can't pull these out on the main channel, monetization and all that. Now, this is a disclaimer. These are not real weapons. These are Airsoft. As you will notice via the orange tips on them. But I talked about these in a live stream a while ago. And I do have this nice handy dandy metal case that was for this guy. Oh, that is so heavy. Now once again, not real, not real, not real. It is all metal. This one was the either Nighthawk or Darkhawk. And it says Hofeng, whatever corporation. Now this is kind of a, it's not an off-brand, so to speak, but it's not a particular thing. And it is modeled after a Glock, which is pretty cool. This is a legit laser sight, which the batteries are definitely dead. But that's a legit laser sight. It does function just like a normal gun. This is not a real thing. This is made for airsoft pellets. This is gas propelled. You can even slide that open. You see the thing there. But I love the fact that the gas relief thing does look like a standard actual thing. I don't know. Shouldn't be anything in there. No, it's actually a little dirty. Probably need a... Even though it's been in a case for years, it's still a little dirty. But look, I mean, you know, it functions like a true gun. This one has a lot of weight to it. This thing feels like a real gun. Mind you, trigger discipline. Even though it's not real. Now, the real pride and joy is the other one. This is a model Glock G18. Now, the thing is, it doesn't say Glock anywhere on it, but it is modeled after a Glock G18. It's even called a G18 on the thing. Now, the G18 is super important because it was the only full auto version of a Glock that people could technically get a hold of. It has a select fire, so that's semi, and this is full. Ding, ding. Now, that's modeled after a real weapon. Normies couldn't technically get a hold of it, but I have seen one, not in person, I've seen one in video with like a twin drum mount magazine. And just watching it, and it is a handgun. Now, mind you, same deal. It looks very similar, though this one even actually has the number things for the bullet, so to speak. Now, once again, not real. And this one you don't have to slide to insert the gas. So these were gassed up by green gas things. Now, I've had issues with this in the past, where it would get stuck, like the select fire would get stuck, and then you couldn't do anything, or have the actual slide mechanism get stuck. So there's that, and look, it even kicks the barrel back like a real one. I've actually been fairly well convinced, since I've handled real weapons and such, that you could use this as a basis and potentially build a real one. I don't have proof of that, but looking at the way this functions, it makes sense. But this is one of my favorite, I don't want to kick too hard, this is one of my favorite not real weapons that I've ever owned. So much so that I bought the extended, I believe this is 100, or I don't even know. So look, they even copy the, they do a simulated Glock logo right there. But yeah, this one is pretty impressive. I have a speed loader for this and stuff like that, but because this is a, you know, it's got the spring, so it just forces them up into there, and of course you do just charge this with gas, but just so you can see it. So much like a real Glock, most of this body is plastic. The actual chamber is metal, but it feels real, like 100%. Like the grip, like the only thing is that if you've handled a real one, the weight difference is obvious, but function, it is functionally identical to a real Glock. The only difference is the weight. This is actually the right size for me personally, except, you know, the pinky hangs off a little bit. That's why you get that. My buddy, who is a cop, who I turned on to Glocks, actually, he didn't like them before, and then I rented one to let him fire, because he never fired one. I believe it was either 18 or a 17 or a 19, possibly a 23. I could be wrong, can't remember all the numbers. And right after that, he went and bought two. So, but he gets the one with the extended, like just the extra, like extra round or two that actually extends the handle ever so much that it'll actually fill up there, which feels funny when you hold the real thing in hand. Once again, trigger discipline. You don't put your finger on the trigger until you're ready to shoot. In fact, this one does not have a safety. That's what's funny. This one doesn't have a safety. I believe this one does. Nope, maybe not. I thought this one had a safety on it too. So you can see how they're very similar in design. This is not this is just semi-auto. This is just pull the trigger and it fires. This can do full auto, and it's amazing. But I love this one because it is heavy. This could do just the thing could literally do some damage. And mind you, it's not even loaded. That's what I find funny. And I never wanted to put the sight on this or on the Glock because it just doesn't, the rail there doesn't really work for it. Though it would be really cool to add some different sights, but I'm fairly certain you can't do that. But I just wanted to show those off because these are like my prides and joys. Like even when I tried to sell off my machine gun versions, or technically submachine gun versions, I guess technically speaking the M1A1 is also, yeah. So yeah, I actually have an officially licensed Thompson M1A1 airsoft gun. That is actually really freaking cool, and I got it for a stupid low price because the entire pallet, when these guys bought them, they had an entire pallet that they bought at a convention, if I remember correctly, that all had some minor damages. Like mine literally just had a broken clip for the strap, the thing I will not use ever. It's the only thing that was wrong with it. It was a $120, $130 thing. I bought it for $60. You know, and then I have my two MP5s, so the Navy version, which is all metal, looks, feels like a real thing, has full rails, all that mess, and then the suppressed version or silenced version, which is all plastic and doesn't feel as good, but it's from the same company. Those are all still buried in the closet. I don't really pull those out for anything. If I ever get to that point, or I feel like pulling, and those are electric, so I can use those. I still have plenty of airsoft pellets and stuff like that if I ever want to do that. But I need to get to work on other things. Oh, I did want to talk about the fact that I had a small incident at work today, and my whole left side, shoulder to foot, is like slightly jacked up from it. So I dropped the thing, and while trying to retrieve the thing, I kind of had a little bit of a like. Kind of like that thing where like a dude is like hanging on the side of a cliff, or like say like you're trying to grab something that's like that. I did that, and then my weight shifted and I went whap. Luckily the thing was right here to stop me from falling further, except for just the amount of falling I did, which 6-7 inches, something like that, ultimately, because I couldn't reach what I needed to. Then my weight shifted, and then I fell, and then couldn't push myself up. But it stopped me from falling and having a way worse situation than I had. But the quick jolt of a stop, you know, it's just like any other type of, you know, physical accident like that, where you, like, if you have some momentum and it suddenly stops, it hurts. So my right side was actually gripping and holding on. My left side fell, and, you know, I didn't like hit anything, like, not that I could tell. I think my foot did, because it feels like I kicked something really hard, so I think my foot actually smacked either the bumper or the ground. But the funny thing is, from my initial position, I actually would not have been able to push myself back up to where, you know, back up. So actually falling a little bit put me in a position to get back up. It was actually kind of funny. But it does hurt. It is actually going to keep me from going to work first thing in the morning, so I get to sleep in a little bit, but I just hope that I can walk effectively tomorrow, because my leg really does hurt. No bruises, no abrasions, nothing like that. It just hurts. It's like overextending, basically. Plus, I'm just worn out. I've just spit. I'm just worn out from the last 3 days. It's been a lot of hard work and a lot of heat, and it cements, much like Christmas time every year. There's a reason I quit doing this full time. So my body cannot take it. Like, it's fine for a few hours of extra work, but not constant all day. And it's not just because I'm more overweight now than I was then, but just I'm older. My immune system isn't what it used to be. And even if I was in slightly better shape, the heat would still get to me. It's like, that's just been an issue since I had shingles. So. But for now, I need to write back to Nate. I'm going to go ahead and open her up, because this should be a pretty quick review. I'm going to put these transformers away, and then I'm going to try to film this ridiculous 4-part or a 4-way review, but I gotta go to the bathroom first, so, you know. I know I'm always touching my face. It is what it is. Okay, so the wifey's probably going to be working a little bit late today. She's got to do a whole bunch of stuff, so that gives me time to do the Core Gundam reviews and stuff like that. But I've got to get these Rangers and other things back on the shelves. I've already got Draken and what's her face on the shelf. I got to put this older Legacy Kim on the shelf. Now, one thing that does bother me is having stuff left over. I'm not a fan of accessories, technically speaking. Now, I was trying to get her to stay up in a pose such as this, but it ain't working. So hold on. Come on, I know you can balance better than that. That's a little bit better, bending the knee. Okay, so I've had a problem here because these Rangers won't stay up. Half of them don't have any kind of putty or anything. So it looks like yellow fell over, taking everybody else out. Some of these, especially the females, I try to lean if I can. I know it sounds bad, but their feet and legs are so tiny that it's kind of hard to get them to stay. So get normal Red Ranger standing. There we go. Good enough. Oh. Sorry. Rotations and such. I gotta get these bots back where they belong. Get Ironhide, Ratchet, and Optimus back on the shelf. Technically, Ratchet hasn't been on the shelf, so that's not a back situation. Now, at some point, I am going to be out of space for these. So just getting them to fit is not always going to be easy. Oh, I put Ironhide right behind Ratchet. That wasn't what I was trying to do. Scooch over. Iron Boy. Iron Lad. Okay. Damn it, Prime is so far away. Here we go. Come here, big butt. He's not that big. Oh, Perceptor. Why do you have to have such weak ankles? So, Perceptor, being one of the earliest figures from Planet X, has some of the most unique engineering and such. So I didn't really show it off, but there's the Planet X shelf as they are, and then eventually Omega will go there. Ugh. Yeah. So as I was saying, part of the problem with a lot of the Marvel figures and the Dragon Ball figures and stuff like that is I get accessories. Now, of course, all the Marvel stuff is gone, so now I'm stuck with mostly Dragon Ball. Okay, I can't get that lid off with one hand. It is what it is. So the problem I face right now is how to do this review. So my original thought was just do all of the Core Gundams, like, so here's your Core Gundam, here's your separate armors, and then skip the details of adding them on. Don't need articulation. Basically just a comparison review. But under normal circumstances, I would have like the box reviews and stuff like that. And it just feels like a situation where I don't need to do the boxes. But I also thought maybe, what if I just do all the box reviews simultaneously? I don't know. So film all 4 box reviews and then have them go at the same time on the screen. So you're not having to do that. Just to get the point across, we're doing all 4 at the same time. 5, technically speaking. I am worn out. And the more stuff I do, the more apparent how worn out I am. So yeah, the thought I had to not go in super early tomorrow is definitely sticking. I just won't have the energy at all to do it. Like, I didn't take a nap today. If I did, it was for a very short amount of time, maybe 20 minutes. But the wifey's coming home later, so I won't have to make dinner. She's gonna eat. I just won't have to make dinner for us. I could just make myself something quick, a sandwich or something. But I need to get this review figured out, because like I said, normally I would do box review and then everything else, and I think like I said, I think I'll just show off the individual armors, talk about them, and then just do side-by-side kind of comparison situation, you know, something like that. I don't know. I'm thinking it through, trying to figure out the best way to do it. It's what I want to do. I just need to figure out the best way to do it. And then I also need to edit vlog footage, because apparently I didn't edit the vlogs from the last couple days. And I know vlogs like really take backstage to everything else, so I don't care. I still have so much to do. I've still got beast boxes to review. I've still got these little jet people over here to review. Which once again is just basically a straight comparison. That's not a full review. But my hands hurt, and like manipulating a lot of small stuff just seems like something that's going to be a pain. But we'll see.